Hello everyone and good afternoon, it's me Skin Glow and Afro and I'm back to do another YouTube video, and today I wanted to talk about the highly controversial topic of the Zimbabwe president setting aside a large amount of money to repay white farmers who had lost their land under the previous Zimbabwean president, Robert Mugabe. You know, he forcibly took the land back from the white farmers and redistributed it to 300,000 black farmers, black families, and they weren't too happy about it. But here is the thing: how on earth did those white farmers get that land in the first place? Because they're not native to Zimbabwe and they certainly are not native to the continent of Africa. Found it on africanexponent.com. It says in July 2020, the government of Zimbabwe agreed with former white farmers to compensate them 3.5 million for land that was expropriated from them by the government. The agreement, which is being referred to as the Global Compensation Deed, will see the government of Zimbabwe raising money in the form of long-term bonds and international donations. This has been a major departure from Robert Mugabe's hardline stance. Mnangagwa claims that the land reform program has not been reversed and will not be reversed. However, the move by Mnangagwa shows how much the government of Zimbabwe is entrenched in neoliberal policies that hold private property as sacrosanct. It's basically all I wanted to read from the article, because I already read it last week, but I will be posting a link down below. However, it's really interesting to me to see how this government is saying that they're not reneging on the land reform, but yet they're going to pay white farmers 3.5 billion pounds. Well, you know, not pounds, but you know what I mean. 3.5 billion. But yet, let me ask you a question. Have black people seen any form of reparations from what happened when we were enslaved? Have we seen any form of reparations? Have we seen any form of, you know, actually long-lasting anything that will actually benefit black people? I'm not talking about affirmative action. You know, I'm not talking about those 1-hour training, anti-bias policies that they come up with that don't actually resolve anything. Actually talking about genuine, sustainable action that can provide black people the privileges that they actually need. You know, this whole idea of paying white farmers in Zimbabwe 3.5 billion for land that was never theirs in the first place is ridiculous to me. If you actually read up on the history, that land was actually stolen by white farmers from the black Zimbabweans. It was stolen from them. So then Robert Mugabe came along and he said, you know what, I'm not having this anymore. And he stole back the land that was taken. This is the thing, white people steal everything. I mean everything. So for them to have the audacity to complain that the shit was done to them just shows you the privilege that they have. I mean, they're getting paid 3.5 billion. And we, as black people, have not seen a frigging dime. We were enslaved. We are being deported here in the UK back to the Caribbean and back to countries in Africa. You know? This whole Windrush scandal that I've spoken about before, and yet they've said that nowhere near the majority of people who have been deported back to the Caribbean or African have received any form of money. Only a small amount of people who have gone through that have actually experienced have actually been given some money, but the money that they've been given is not enough. You have to remember that this thing can go on for years and years and years and years, and they have no way to sustain themselves financially, and then you want to give them this chump change. It's disrespectful. But yet the Zimbabwean government wants to give these white farmers 3.5 billion, but where is the money? Where is the money for black people? As if white people are still not grabbing their hands all over Africa as a continent. And now the Chinese are there as well, adding to the problems that that continent already has. And I'm not talking about the black people. I'm talking about them grabbing every single thing as if it belongs to them. It not belong to you. It's not your land. It's not your land. So for you to get paid for money that you was turfed off from when you shouldn't have been there in the first place because you murdered people to get that land, you should be lucky that you were still alive. I just honestly, I'm not understanding the logic in doing that. I'm really not understanding the logic because black people are still getting disrespected left, right and centre all over the world. Have you not been paying attention to what's going on in America, what's going on here in the UK, every single where? We have the Chinese who are now basically invading the continent of Africa under the guise of, we are benefiting this continent, but they actually aren't. What they're doing is, providing services, but it's a case of we are going to do this, but it's a case of if we do it, then that means you owe us. And this is how this shit continues on and on and on and on, and it's ridiculous. And let me not get started about how the Chinese are in Jamaica and what they're doing over there as well. I just think honestly these governments in these majority black countries really need to wake up and actually see what's going on, because I don't understand how it's gotten to this level. Like, as you know, Robert Mugabe passed away, was it last year, 2018, and I'm not understanding how it's gotten to this level. I'm not saying the man was perfect. I would never say that. He was not perfect. However, his idea was the right idea. We're going to take back what the white people stole. But the problem is with a lot of black people, they are still mentally enslaved. They don't seem to realise that this is what we need to be doing. We need to be taking back what was stolen from us. Because the white people do not belong on that land. They don't. They murdered your people. Wake the fuck up. They murdered your people. They raped your people. They basically took over the land that they know full well does not belong to them. And now they're going to get compensated for land that is not theirs. It does not make any sense. And they want to cry about it and say that it was our land originally. No, the fuck, it was not your land originally. It was not your land originally. And it's still not your land today. The indigenous people of Zimbabwe, those black African people, are the ones that land belongs to. And did they get compensation for when you stole that land right out from underneath them? No. But yeah, it's alright for you to get compensation. You're getting 3.5 billion. They be lucky to get like freaking 2 cents. Also done another video on Zimbabwe a few years back, and so I shall be linking that video down below as well. So, please be sure to check that out, because I don't want to talk about this situation for too long, because honestly I'm just disgusted with it all. And I know people are going to come for my head for my opinions, but honestly I don't really care. Because the truth at the end of the day is what I said. That land is not theirs. And I'm fed up of having to explain to certain demographics why they can't keep complaining about how we're being racist or speaking out on their racism. When they know full well that land does not belong to them. They know full well they stole that land from black people. They stole it like they steal everything. They stole black people's land, their bodies, their women, their children. How much more you got to steal? And let's not even talk about them stealing the riches from Africa as well. And to top it off, you also steal our lives. You do. You steal our lives, and majority of the time you don't even see the consequences for it. So the repercussions, you don't see nothing, none of that. So basically, someone deciding 20 odd years ago to steal back the lands, I don't understand what you're crying for. Because didn't you do the same thing to get that land in the first place? You didn't think that day of karma was going to come, did you? But anyway, that is it for this video. I shall be back in a few minutes for another video. So see you in a bit. Okay, bye.